Hello, I'm Bralynn Newby with Message Mosaic, and I have 21 great message multiplying ideas for you, including tips and tricks on how to get them done. So let's get to it.
Hello, and welcome to 21 Message Multiplying Ideas. This is your host, Bralynn Newby with Message Mosaic. We help you discover, create, and deliver your message with power and passion for maximum impact. So here we are with 21 ideas that I created just for you. First off is a blog. And what we teach is that we use the 10 by 10 formula. This should be between 150 and 300 words, and it's important to post regularly because you'll get a following if you do that, and then you'll be able to build your leads and build your SEO. So the 10 by 10 formula is 10 FAQs, which are frequently asked questions, and then 10 SAQs, should ask questions, which are questions that you wish people would ask you or that would help them inform them on making a better decision to buy your product or service. So with that 10 by 10, that will give you 20 blog ideas. So that's really helpful, and you can reposition those in multiple ways that we'll talk about too. So for blogs, in addition to posting them on your website, there's also several other places: bizsugar.com, blogger.com, tumblr.com, wordpress.com, squidoo.com, and there are tons of them. These are just some of the better ones that I've found and that I use with my clients. So that being said, you can take that same information from your blog and flesh it out a little bit more to 300 to 800 words or even more, but this is typical, to make an article. And this can be a series of articles, or you can collaborate on a series with other experts in your field or industry. These should definitely be educational and informative rather than more entertaining. Although, keep it light and fun. Funny is money, right? So go ahead and keep it light, but it should have a little bit more serious of a tone, or a little bit more educational and informative of a tone, I should say, than a blog. This can be a response to another expert's article. So you could express your opinion or chime in on something that someone else has said, and therefore you get a little bit of leverage of their name recognition, especially if they're someone who is well known in your field. So in addition to posting on your website, you'll also want to post on places such as articlesbase.com, bookisa.com, articlerich.com, goarticles.com, articlecity.com, and there are several other places. Now, here's the one caution though. This is one of those tips and tricks I mentioned. Don't post your article to multiple article sites. They frown on that. You can post it on your website and then choose typically one, possibly two others for the exact same article. Now, if you're going to go more than that, I would definitely change up the wording so that the phrases are not found in multiple places. You can get slapped or even taken off of a site for posting in places. And I understand the reason for that, because article sites want people to come to those sites to find good information. They don't want the same information that's found anywhere else on their sites. So that's why you should just be careful of that. Just wanted to warn you. Another thing you can do with that blog and article is create an e-zine or newsletter, and this is also a piece that's sent out regularly. This should be at least 60% educational, but you can run ads. Now, you can run ads for your own stuff, or you can have collaborate with other people and kind of do affiliate type marketing and have other people advertising in your e-zine and newsletter, and then you would do the same for them. So it kind of, leverages both of the people's databases. And then typically these are either free or it could be a paid subscription depending on the size and type of your niche and the quality of that content. Of course, you always want to provide great content, but sometimes content that can be found in a lot of different places for free doesn't go over well when you want to try to sell it. So just one little thing to think about there. Here is an idea for a special report, and this is a little bit more meaty, let's just say, than an article. This probably involves a little bit of research and then your observation or opinion on that research, maybe with a few different sources to really get into a topic. And also, you'll want to align this special report so it's not just out of the blue. Obviously, you want to have to do something with your business. For instance, if you're a dog grooming, then maybe you could do a special report on a fad that's going around, or maybe some sort of an ailment or infirmity that's going around that you want to warn people about. Hey, be careful that I don't know anything about the dog grooming industry. I'm just totally making this up, but let's just say that disease can be spread through the clippers and you just want to warn people about that. So that would be a good thing to put in a special report. And then, of course, it's usually used as a marketing tool, typically free on your website. Now, an ebook is a little bit beefier than a special report, usually 20 plus pages, but don't let that freak you out, because if you remember that 10 by 10 formula, you would have created 20 blog posts that you could flesh out to 20 articles, and then by the time that you write things to piece them together, you're well over 20 pages and you've got an ebook having to do with your topic of interest. So it can be fast and easy, and like I just mentioned, that's repositioning the content. This can be a free, or it can also be paid, or it can be a bonus to something else that you're doing. And then also you can do the Kindle or mobile version of it to just broaden your influence and get it out there in a bigger way. That's that. And a book. Now, so many people say they want to be an author, but they have no idea where to start. Well, this obviously could be a whole, 6-week course. So I'm just totally touching the surface right here. But really, there's a lot of different options that are really level the playing field to get yourself published, to be a published author. You can do self-publishing. You can record and transcribe relatively inexpensively. Use a ghostwriter if you want to hire someone to write for you, and they'll typically interview you and then write. You pre-sell. That's a great strategy to get paid before you even start writing it. And I have some of my mentors have even pre-sold all the way up to bestseller status before they even wrote the book, and that was pretty amazing. And these are some of the ideas of the support experts that you might want to bring on board to this project as developmental editors, and they'll help you figure out how to structure your book. For instance, if you want to tell stories and relate, different facts in there, how does that want to be so that it's readable and entertaining, and they'll help you figure all of that out. Then you have the proofreader or regular editor will just help you, grammatically, and then making sure that you didn't say the same thing and then later, repeat yourself. Or I found a Stephen King error one time in their editing. They had talked about that this girl got into a car and turned the engine on, and then she sat there for a while, and then a few pages later it said she reached down and turned the engine on. I'm like, editor missed that one. So that's what a proofreader editor kind of does for you there. Then you can also get a launch and publicity manager, and this will help you do all that pre-selling that we were talking about earlier. And then, of course, a publisher. And sometimes publishers will have a package deal where you can get multiple of these experts all through them. And that might be a good way to go, unless you want to do parts of it yourself, or if you know people in different parts. But the publisher can definitely help you out there, set you on the right direction. Teleseminars and webinars. This is one of my favorite ways to get your message out there. The leverage of the strategy is just incredible. The reach is incredible. You can create evergreen content that is repurposed and reusable and automatic, and this is just a brilliant strategy to use, and I would encourage everyone to make sure that you're using teleseminars and webinars. There's a lot of free options for applications and software that you can use. We teach instant teleseminar and any meeting. There's several of them. And like I said, great leveraging strategy. And we have a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun doing it. And in fact, Lynn Sagan and I have put together a triple tech series where we teach you exactly how to go step by step on how to set up and run instant teleseminar and any meeting, and how to put together a presentation, what makes a good presentation, and then how to use social media to get people to your teleseminars and webinars. So if you want information on that, that's right there at bit.ly/tripletech. And I invite you to go ahead and check that out. Next idea is e-learning courses, and these can be through the local community college or another organization or your church or something like that. And of course, if you're doing something that is in alignment with their mission, they'll probably help you promote it, which is awesome. And so typically an e-learning course was a combination of several of the other ideas that I mentioned, but you want to put them together in a format that makes sense. And typically, like it says, it's e-learning, so it's all available online. You never meet in person. So this could be audios and videos, a PDF workbook download, which is very simple to make. If you create it in a Word doc, you can always just save it as a PDF and you're ready to go. Online fill-in-the-blank homework. Now this is a little bit trickier to create these forms, but you can always have a virtual assistant help you with them, and just find one who has this skill, and it shouldn't take them very long. You probably just need to send them a Word document, or even handwritten on paper. Just scan it over to them and they can put it together for you. You can have online testing and assessments done, and there are some free options. I would probably check those out. And then one of the components might be group calls or webinars, so that you can have some interaction between the participants of the e-course. That's always fun to have that little bit of interaction there. Videos are amazing for your SEO. SEO stands for search engine optimization, and of course that helps you get found on the search engines online. And videos rank high. They have a lot of Google juice, as it's called. And they can be a lot of fun, and people get a chance to get to know you a little bit more in your videos. They can see your style, they can see, you build rapport, so that's pretty cool. And simple is successful. You can see by this video that I'm doing, I'm not using any crazy graphics on the PowerPoint. Now, I did put this together a little bit quicker. Sometimes I do have where each line comes in, but simple is also successful. Just keep that in mind. It does not have to be complicated. It can be simple, you can do it cheap, and you can still have a great product. So these are some extra ideas for posting. In addition to on your website, you can put your video on YouTube, Vimeo, Dailymotion, PhotoBucket, Facebook, iViewTube, Quego, and Veo. And there's, again, tons of different places to put videos. And these are just some of the top ones. You might find some people, or some sites, have restrictions on how many places you can put it, and also the content of the video. For instance, you can't be outright selling some things on, I think it was Veo. Veo is the one that really doesn't want to have just ads. So it's got to be content, it's got to be educational, inspirational, those kinds of things. So YouTube, you can just probably find about anything there. That's a good one. Audios. Audios are simple to make. You can just do it right from your computer with a microphone. I'm just wearing a headset right now for this, and I also have a standalone microphone and a lapel mic for different situations. depending on the ambient noise and things like that. But audios are really easy to make. Podcasts are easy to make. And you can also take those videos that we were talking about in the last one and strip the audio out, and that can become an audio file. And of course, you can create the MP3 downloads and the CDs, and they're great for a series. You'll often find this as a training tool, as a series of multiple audios on a certain subject. So here, in addition to your website, you can post on Podomatic.com, podcastblaster.com, Plaxo.com, podcastexchange.com, podcast.com, and podference.com. Ooh, I think this is supposed to be podcastexchange.org. This is a typo here. Sorry about that. This is supposed to be podcastexchange.org. And I will fix that for the next time around. Moving on, workshops. This is a great strategy for people who are kind of familiar with you, or maybe it's as part of a package that you're putting together for group coaching, when people actually want to get stuff done, which I am so all about getting her done. So I love this model to get one-to-many coaching all in one place, and you get stuff done. You can pre-sell these, so you don't necessarily have to set your date or get a venue. You can pre-sell these and fill the event, and then let everybody know when and where it's going to be. So, and also the added value to your attendees is that they get to network with people. They get to see people in action because you're actually working. And there's a lot of participation that goes on with the attendees. They work through stuff. So don't be afraid to do workshops, because a lot of it really is participant driven based on where they are and what they need to work on. So don't be afraid of them. They're great. So speaking and seminars, these are usually delivered in lecture style, just very little audience participation, but it is a great place to showcase your talents and gain exposure. You can be on other people's stages, which gives you clout because you can leverage their name or their organization, and it gives you confidence. It gives you confidence in your ability to speak, but it also gives you confidence in your products and services when you're able to speak about them. And you have the opportunity to tweak your presentations, and with a live audience you get the feedback, so that's great. And these, you often speak for free for groups, and then if you do that, sometimes you're given the option, or the opportunity I should say, to upsell for products or services. Now obviously you want to check with the organization that you're speaking for and make sure that that's okay, or if it's not, there's other tips and tricks that you can use, and you do have a strategy session with me, so we can go ahead and talk about those later. But in your local area, just want you to know that there are hundreds of opportunities to speak each month, so don't let those go by. Go ahead and grab those. Of course, not in my area. I have all those. No, I'm just teasing. Okay, offline print ideas. Newspaper columns, and the column, when you say a column, then it's going to be regularly appearing, and it'll be in the niche area of the newspaper, wherever your particular niche falls in the newspaper, that people will get used to seeing it. And then you have the possibility of becoming syndicated, so multiple media outlets might pick you up if you have a column that's running well and it's well received. Magazine articles, press releases, and I would absolutely say that everyone needs to do press releases as often as possible. There are online ones too, so it's not just offline. So I guess that's an extra little idea there. Make sure you get online with your press releases. Direct mail letters. These are starting to come back into vogue. They're starting to be a little bit more effective because people aren't doing them so much now. They're not doing them so much because they are expensive. So make sure that you do your market research well if you're going to be doing direct mail. Neighborhood circulars. Those may or may not be effective. Depends on your neighborhood. Depends on the product or service that you're selling. And then print newsletters. Some people just love to have it in writing and love to get that newsletter from you every month or however often you publish it. So that's great. You could become a Meetup group host. This is a great idea because the platform already exists. People are used to the Meetup, and you get to target your niche. You get to control the agenda, so you get to speak on whatever you want. And it's a great way to test your materials before you're going to print. You can just totally make a little handout and have everybody talk about it around the table, get more ideas and tweak and, get feedback. So that's a great way to test that. And you have potential to team up with other meetup groups in the area so you can hold a joint event for even more exposure. And of course, as the host, you get exposure anyway. So that's a great idea, if I do say so myself. You can get creative. I have a couple clients who are doing some really unique things. I have a missionary in India who is creating this Bible study scrapbook, and it's pretty exciting. And then I have another lady who does one of those the calendars that sit on your desk that you flip and you tear off the page every day. To have her stuff like that. You could create games or skits or plays, for different organizations. Sometimes they like to liven it up a little bit. Why not make it an edutainment, educational and entertaining? So those are some great ideas. The object is to be seen. In all of these ideas, you want to direct traffic to them online typically. So you want to make sure that you're using all of your social media, and there's a lot of different strategies and a lot of different free information on how to use these things. Don't get overwhelmed though. Look at what works for you, where your market is, and which social media outlet they're using, and get there. And don't worry about the other stuff that is not pertaining to your niche, or it's not where your market is, or if you simply don't have time, you can hire people to do your social media for you, and you don't have to do everything. It's okay if you don't. Don't get overwhelmed with it, but just do something. Do whatever you can and automate as much as you can. Set aside one certain day, write up all of your posts, and then set them to go at different times. It's a great tool. Another great idea is to go mobile. Obviously, with social media, you can keep up to date because you want to make sure that you're engaging with your audience. If you make a post on, let's just say, Facebook, and someone responds to it, or multiple people do, you want to be able to respond to them in a timely manner. So make sure that you're connected on your smartphone or mobile device so that you can catch your social media interaction right away. Which is not to say that you need to sit on it all day long. I'm just saying, if you want to be interacting with your target audience, you just might want to be mobile. That's all I'm saying. So 3 times more people in the world have mobile phones than internet access. And text messages are open 97% of the time versus email is only 14%. And mobile coupons have 10 times the redemption rate of print coupons. So these are some of the great reasons why you do want to go mobile, especially for a local market. So this has been Bralynn Newby. You can email me at inspire@messagemosaic.com if you want any more information on any of this. I do have a webinar series called Create Magnetic Info Products, where we actually go through what makes a good info product, and we talk about the different learning styles and how your clients value your products. And also, you can email me if you'd like some coaching or an accountability. And of course, you do get a free Get Her Done session with me, a 30-minute session. So go ahead and email me for that too at inspire@messagemosaic.com. Just want to remind you one more time that we do have that triple tech series, and that is at bit.ly/triple tech, bit.ly/triple TRIPLE tech, TECH. And that will be me signing off. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I hope you got your ideas. And I know that I went way over 21. I don't know how many that was, but it was over 21, but I just was on a roll. So there you go. That's me. That's Bralynn Newby. And signing off. Here's to your success, and here's to impacting the world with your message. Bye-bye.